So actually, it's cold outside, right?
Yeah.
All our patients are complaining about their joints.
Yeah.
What can we do to help them survive this cold season? Like, what's the first thing you think of when people survive the cold and their joints hurt?
Yep. I think keeping people moving, so having a game plan on like what you're gonna do. So if you normally walk outside, maybe moving it into the gym. I think the ability to like have a plan surrounding how you're gonna continue to make sure that you're moving every day. The more that people move, the better for sure.
Right.
So motion is lotion.
Exactly. I think a big problem too is this: a lot of people. What about people who don't exercise? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have patients, my joint pain patients. They aren't exercising.
Yeah.
Their joints still hurt.
Yeah.
How can they start? What can they do? Something very simple they can do to help themselves.
Yeah. So I think like big things are just like slow, steady movement patterns. So like stationary bike is really also low impact. In general, I like gentle ranges of motion and isometric contraction patterns. So just meaning
Like, explain that. Like, what does that mean?
Yep. So isometrics, like wall sits, you could have people, and I know a lot of people want to sit down like a 90-degree knee, then you don't need to be down.
Right, not just military.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I think it's okay to be a little under to start for sure. Quad sets are good, mid sets are good, just meaning like squeezing the muscle like right. And people don't like think about.
I love that. You don't think about that. Like just squeeze your muscle.
Literally.
Like just squeeze it.
Yes, 1,000%. And like it works. No, it does. Cause rewiring our muscular re-education. That's like a big component and like a big important thing.
Right.
But it's about starting in smaller movements and starting like more frequency too. So I think everybody wants to go like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's important it's cold. You got to warm up.
Totally.
I mean, shoot, I got
yes. Correct. The elderly over here. Yeah.
So like you got to warm up first. To get to 10 minutes of go. Yeah. So what's a good, we're saying words I want you to understand. Like what does a warm up mean? So what is a warm up to you if I was 40, 50 years old?
Yeah.
Kind of working out a couple days a week.
Yeah.
It's getting cold. My arthritis hurts.
Yeah.
How do I warm up?
I would say I love the bike. I love it.
Me too.
Yeah. Stationary bike.
Now, question, like, do you care? Does it matter, like, recumbent or, like, is it matter what kind of bike?
Whatever your preference is. Doesn't matter. I think, like, if you're more active or recumbent bike's probably going to be a little bit more low level.
Right.
Compared to an upright bike, but it doesn't particularly matter. Yeah.
A lot of my patients, they ask about those you give them an Amazon, right?
Yes.
Sit there and just cycle your feet. Do you like those?
So it depends on.
I brought them for my grandma. I love it.
So it's great. If you have the arthritis, like, and you're like, yes, 1,000%. I think if that's like a way that you are going to actually do stuff, you're going to sit and watch TV and like, you're going to pedal while you're sitting. Yeah, but 1,000%.
Right.
1,000%. I think the more that you move, like people, like you were saying, like, I think that people want to continue to like do things that are more advanced,
right?
Like literally, like just small bits of movement throughout the day.
Right.
I need the best.
That's what I say. I love the pool. I think like I think in this area in Dallas, Texas, DFW area, we are lacking in pools, but certain areas do have awesome therapeutic pool, like the YMCA has. I know Alabama here in Prairie, the Summit Gym and like Active in Arlington, they have these warm pools and they have water aerobics. Yep. And I put almost all my patients in the aquatic therapy and I move to the pool, especially this warm. Yep. Right? How you feel about swimming? Like, is that a real exercise for people?
Yes, it's great. Stationary bike is great if you have access to a pool. Pool is great. All of those are really good ones to start out with because it's a level of impact.
Yeah. So like, and things also too, like what about, movement as far as preparation goes, stretching? What kind of like, okay, so, people get confused between active and, passive stretching. What things do you like as far as stretching goes for people to kind of warm up and kind of get going? What do you think is the best parts of the body to stretch and have stretch?
Yeah. So that's a good question. In general, you want to do more dynamic movements before exercise and static stretches later. So essentially like the equation that I give it is you just don't want to do like a rubber band that's like thick and tight. You don't want to immediately like start a new rubber band and like stretch it out like aggressively. You want to start out like to get the muscles warm. So honestly, I would rather you start out with your water aerobics and or like do like 5 minutes on the stationary bike before you actually stretch. Right. And I would almost rather your stretch prior to you doing your exercise be more like dynamic movement. So we're going to do like a squatting pattern that's body weight.
Open the sofa.
Yes.
I find like glad to ask my patients if they're stressed and they get to go, yes. I'm like, so what do you do? They're like, I do a little.
Yeah.
And like, I feel people aren't educated on what stretching really is,
Yeah.
And also I feel like people understand like when you're more flexible,
Yeah.
you have less joint pain.
Totally.
There's less force across your body, right? Because that force is translated to like your muscles to your bones. And so like less force means less energy,
Yeah.
less wear and tear, right? Being flexible is important.
Yeah.
Right?
1,000%. So like when we talk about static versus dynamic stretching, so before you do any kind of exercise going through, I like to just like go through the movement patterns that you're going to be working. So like if you know you're going to be doing squats that day, I would do like gentle, and it can be really small movement patterns, but you want to recreate the movement pattern that you're going to focus on that day. So do you know you're going to be doing lower body, you want to focus on lower body stretching. You want to make sure that you're moving in the pattern that you're going to be doing. And then you want to save your static stretching for the end once the muscles are already warmed up. And you want to hold those stretches for at least 30 seconds. Usually like my rep scheme is 4 sets of 30 seconds. And that's what you're talking about. Like that's where you're actually going to create change.
Yeah.
Versus like.
Right. I remember like, when I was younger, like I was in my 20s, like I wouldn't even stretch when I worked out. I'll walk in and just, pull ups, just go.
Yeah.
So do you think that, do all age ranges need to stretch and warm up?
Yeah.
Or was I wrong just getting buff just without stretching?
It's not wrong.
Will that damage me later in life?
No, it won't damage you later in life, but I think that it's good.
I'm like, I don't need to warm up. I'm so,
Yes,
but
no, you need to
warm up, right?
Yeah.
What happens if I don't warm up?
Injuries happen if you don't warm up. Because you want to go through, it's essentially like, I'm like a learner by like visualization, and I'm a learner by like extremes.
Yeah.
So my extreme to you, I know that most people don't go directly to 500 pounds, although like someone probably does. But you don't want to go from like doing nothing to going to like squat 500 pounds.
Right.
You're going to get hurt because like your tissue's not prepped,
Right.
or like brain leg connection isn't prepped. So yeah, everyone should be doing a warm up, and you want to recreate the movement patterns that you're going to do. So like if you're going to go run, you need to be doing single leg squats. You need to be doing hip activation. Like there's a lot of stuff that you need to dial into.
In that preparation before you get your workout in, are there, with your clients especially, are there certain like foods or certain things to eat or drink prior to them working out? I mean, I felt like a lot of people don't realize how, even when it's wintertime, how dehydrated they are.
Yeah, 1,000.
Like I feel like, people associate sweating and heat with dehydration.
Yeah.
A lot of places, and even the cold, and that affects your joints, right? Like you find that same thing too?
1,000%. Yeah, 1,000% every day, especially with post-ops, because it's all these, we see like a lot of athletes, and we get these athletes, these like high school kids that are coming in. I literally have a kid that I need to think of like from
What?
And he is so stiff. His knee is so stiff.
How old is he?
ACL reconstruction, like 60, 70. So stiff. And I'm like, yo, man, like, you've been drinking some water. It's like, no, so stiff. And yes, and because they really don't know, because they're athletes. So they like you're used to, like he said, when you're hot and sweaty, that you drink water. But I like literally give them that education. Every single person that comes in the door, I'm like, hey, listen, your knee feels stiff when you drink more water. It's crazy. Like the dehydration status, like it makes a huge difference.
Right.
Like he said, you're going to have to consciously in the winter be thinking about drinking water.
And also, like, think about this, like, we're indoors more, right? So people tend to also drink, people's mood change in the wintertime.
Yeah.
I found people they need more caffeine. They're drinking more coffee. They're drinking more Celsius. So much, and it's even worse, right?
Totally.
I think other things too, people's nutrition's changed. Like, we're all inside, not enough vitamin D. So I have all my patients kind of start taking vitamin D for sure. Because vitamin D is it's not just a vitamin, it's a hormone. And you're not going to lose that weight. You're not going to gain that muscle. You're not going to lose that weight without enough vitamin D, and nutrition like that. And also antioxidant foods. Yeah. We're stiffer. Our joints hurt. It's also holiday time.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that? Like the cakes and the cookies.
Yeah.
We know that sugar makes us inflamed.
Yeah.
Our joints will hurt too, right?
It's 1,000%. Yeah. It's pretty crazy, the difference that you notice, because it actually does like lead to some dehydration. Again, it's all that vicious cycle. I'm curious, just because this is more your area of expertise than mine. I'm curious, like, what you think about, like, the vitamin D stuff, like, what you recommend, like, supplement-wise and stuff for your people with chronic pain.
Right. So it's, I find a couple of things. Like, one, yes, vitamin D for sure, right? I see a lot of joint issues.
Yeah.
Most people in this area here have I'm not gonna lie to you, most adults don't have a great love for veggies and fruits as they should. Like, I have adults that tell me, I don't like vegetables. Like, how old are you, bro? Like, I don't like water. What are we, 10?
Yeah.
And so, I try to get an honesty to first start eating fruit and vegetables.
Yes.
This is Texas.
Yeah.
people have this meat and potatoes thing down pat. We love potatoes, we love steak, we love chicken, we love tacos, we love tortillas.
Dog.
I'm like, bro, right. I'm like, bro, like, where are your vegetables? I don't like broccoli. I don't like tomatoes. So first it's the food thing for me. But let's vary, because we also know that too, you have to have a good, healthy biome in your gut that only comes from variations of food. You can't just eat the same salad every day, you know? So yes, I do that. On top of that, supplementation, vitamin B, vitamin a B complex, for sure. I see a lot of oil is fun, but I have people come in all the time for shots, like first every couple of weeks, and then after that, maybe monthly for B12 shots, B6. I put them on a B complex. That's huge for me. Also, too, I'm working on a lot with this now. Hormone changes. Like I find now that when I'm now down on people's hormones and doing the right way of making them more balanced, their pain gets better too. You don't think about men, testosterone pain, even women, testosterone and pain. There's a correlation there. And lately, I've been moving a lot more towards changing people's hormones too to help their pain, especially during this time of year because everybody's mood changes. And with hormone balancing, not only do you feel better here, feel better here too.
See, like what's like a traditional like setup, like a demographic.
Right. I mean, I would say like, I'm going to tell you this. I would say this like, people tend to change their mood during the holiday times, regardless. I think it's across all cultures, right? Let's talk about America. I don't care what race, color, which you are. We all stay by celebrate the holidays. People get depressed. People get moody. It's the times have to go back. I don't know why we still have daylight savings time. We're not farming. Like, I'm out shucking hay at 7 o'clock, but it gets, thank God. But it gets dark outside. People get sad right now. The mood. I'm going to tell you the best thing I hear when I do my balancing of hormones, when I do my hormone replacement. It's not libido. It's not sleep. It's not sex. You know what it is? It's mood.
Really?
Like, people are more pleasant to be around. That's the best thing I hear. And when I know it's time to change the hormones again, I ask the spouse, is it time to yeah, change that. Seriously.
Yeah.
And so I think like across the board, it's a mood thing for people. Like that's the best thing when it comes, I think, to hormone replacement.
Yeah.
And so what about other stuff? Like, I'm thinking also too, people are just in the house sometimes.
Yeah.
It's cold. People in Texas, even when it's like 50 degrees, don't like being outside.
Correct.
So what can they do within the house for themselves besides just walking in circles?
Yep. I love the idea of bundling up and going outside and get a little bit of sun.
Okay.
I think like some fresh air is great.
Just saying, don't let it be an excuse.
Yeah.
Get your butt outside.
Yeah, because like you can buy a jacket and then like
You get your life.
yeah, and I think like you said, it's like good to like see the sun. It's good for you to like get out, get moving. I think in that house too, like there's plenty of stuff that you can do that's body weight. Like honestly, I think like a lot of, again, like us talking about the isometrics, the wall sits.
Give me your favorite 3.
Yeah.
Give me your favorite 3.
Yeah.
Do in the house.
Wall sits, easy. Everybody's got a wall. You don't have to go down all the way. I always tell people only until it hurts. So I'm like, okay. That's great.
So no like military style, like just booking your hand and like I'm a kung fu movie.
No,
I need 2 like buckets. No.
You can if you want to. Some people like, I've done this. Yeah, I could do that for you. But most of us, some of us, I'm sorry to put you on the top, but I think the overall, no, you don't need to, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I think balance is a big one too. So single leg balance. And that's like a good one that you can integrate into your routine. So even like I tell people while you're brushing your teeth, I give that disclaimer, like if you're safely brushing your teeth. So like if you can do single leg balance, you want to make sure that you can do single leg balance statically with something around to grab onto, just in case, no fall risks, no falls. But I think that's a great one. And then just squats too, like sit to stands. I would do sit to stand squats into the chair. And again, those are big muscle groups that we're moving. You're getting good activation, good blood flow. Even just that like 10 to 15 minutes of movement can really be different.
I tell people, look, make it a real goal. Go make it a mountain over like a big molehill, right? Keep it simple every day. Right, one or two things, and just do it every day. Even if it's 10 minutes.
1,000%, because that consistency and frequency of you doing something is going to be better versus you going, killing yourself. I see this all the time. And people that are like, oh, like I want to make a change, they get really gung-ho about it. They go really hard one day, and then they're like, oh my God, I couldn't move for another like 10 hours. But you want to really make sure that like you're doing just enough. So even if like, again, if you haven't exercised before, literally 15 minutes is plenty.
That's it. 15 minutes. That's the key, right? Wes, that was awesome. I'm heading back soon. Thank you for coming. Just help us again, okay?
For sure. Yeah.